1.
Folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. It's almost 9 o'clock. Now, at 10 o'clock this morning, we will have live our instant replay with Dave Garner, North Georgia's only live online Monday morning 10 a.m. sports show. Dave Garner and these guys are working hard to put together a great product. Last week we launched the show. It's live at 10 o'clock every Monday morning. And last week we launched the show. The staff got together afterwards. They went through, they critiqued themselves. I'm just so proud of how everybody does works around here. They critique themselves. They've worked on it all week. And we're getting ready. We're going to run it all summer long because by time we get to football, which is here. I went down and met with Coach Chris Parker last week, the Pickens Dragon. Wow, you ought to see that Jumbotron and that turf going down. But football is right on us. It's going to be here. We're May, June, July. We're going to be reporting on 7-on-7 camps and so on and so forth. Quarterback camps, passing camps, running back camps, you name it. That being said, am I correct that Nick Chubb went to the Cleveland Browns? Am I correct on that? That Nick Chubb went to the Cleveland Browns in the first round? Am I wrong or right? Just tell me. Because I tell you, that's what there's days you get up and you wonder, what do you do what you do? Why do you do this? Why do you do this? All right, I know I'm getting a little tongue-tied there, and I'll tell you, I'll never forget standing in Cedartown, okay? Now, if you, I forget the year, I could have looked up all these stats, but if you are a Gilmer Bobcat defensive player, okay? And I forget what year it was. It's about, I guess, 6 years now. 6 years now, right? Chubb's been in the UGA for 4 years, and his junior year. Anyhow, only one defense in Nick Chubb's high school career held him to under 100 yards. Only one. Only one defense in Nick Chubb's high school career held him to under 100 yards, and that is the Gilmer Bobcats. So you guys out there, when you see Nick Chubb and you're watching the Cleveland Browns this fall, the NFL, one, we pray Chubb does not take a knee so we can continue to be a fan. Two, I pray Chubb does not take a knee so I can get my Chubb Cleveland Browns jersey, whether you like it or not. Nick Chubb, I'm going to have one. But when you're watching him run the ball and they say Chubb up the middle for 8 yards, an 8-yard gain for Nick Chubb and the Cleveland Browns, you can say, I stopped that dude. Or you can look at the other guy on the other sideline. What, you can't stop him? I did. I just had to do that. Had to highlight that. And I'll never forget Cedartown, his senior year. Reporter, thank you, up there in Chattanooga, said to me, and I had a video camera that night, he said, the next time in the end zone is Nick Chubb's 100th high school career touchdown. And I made sure every time he touched the ball from that point out, I had the video. So I do have the video of his high school touchdown. That's why we do what we do here. We're going to be ready for the best season yet in high school football in North Georgia. Dave Garner, 10 o'clock every Monday, live instant replay. I really got into that probably, Amanda. You can tell I really got into that. Are you wondering who some of the candidates are? Now, I've had so many people ask me, who is Margaret Williamson? Who is this candidate that is running against House Speaker David Ralston in the 7th District here, House District of Georgia, on the Republican ticket? Who is this person? Well, if you'd like to meet Margaret Williamson, you could come out to her meet and greet. She's having a meet and greet. She invites everybody out to come to say hello Tuesday. That's tomorrow, May 1st, from 6 to 9 at the ETC Pavilion on Legion Road in Ellijay. Come and join and have some hot dogs and apple pie and get to know Margaret Williamson. So if you're wondering who this is that's running against David Ralston, come out to Legion Road in LJ ETC Pavilion tomorrow at 6 o'clock and spend some time with the candidate. Now, we're moving right along. I already did the story where Trump changed time, but did you look that up? Are you over there?
Yes, I'm over here.
No, my question was, did you look it up? Because I have seen a whole lot of horseplay going on in there. I've seen a whole lot of, you have been everywhere but behind the control desk. So did you look that up? Oh, you can't answer that yes or no. Oh, you want, no, now she's not talking. Oh, they get to pouting at me so easy around here.
Yeah, you're going to get the pouting.
Okay, folks. We talked about Trump changing time. Oh, my screen froze, and that's the reason I'm running double screen. Is so it wouldn't freeze on me, and I would be able to do my stories. Wow. Okay. Well, hold on. There it is. Okay. Polling data. Stop the presses. Okay. First of all, let's just go with the governor's race of Georgia. All right. It is the first day. It is the first day of early voting in Georgia. And an AJC poll, which is as ridiculous as can be, because they have nothing to do. They create something 3 times a day, okay? Now, at this point in the campaign, you have every campaign manager sending you something all day long. I mean, throughout the weekend, I could not figure out who is really, I got 6 people telling me they're the most pro-life. How pro-life can you be? NRA, stand down. Stand down. I've never seen, it's so important because Casey Cagle got the actual endorsement of the NRA. The other candidates want to assert that they are pro-Second Amendment, and gun commercials, emails, Facebook blasts, whatever. These polls are not. Here is the poll. Lieutenant Governor Casey Cagle has a commanding lead over his Republican rivals in the race for governor. No, he does not. I'm sorry. Don't get upset. He doesn't have a commanding lead. All right? That's my opinion. He has name recognition. All right? Cagle, this is how they have it broke down. All right? And you got to get down into it. And you're already getting, now, Casey Cagle, Georgia Republican, gubernatorial primary poll. Casey Cagle has 40.8, right at 41% of the Republican primary in this poll. Okay? Hunter Hill has 8.7%. Brian Kemp has 9.6. All right? And Michael Williams has 3.2. Clay Tippins has 3.8. Now, 3.2 and 3.8 by Michael Williams and Clay Tippins. But what is the factor that is not being brought up in all the emails you're getting? Undecided is 33.1. 33.1. Move that into the Brian Kemp camp. Move that into the Hunter Hill camp. Adjust the Casey Cagle as the campaign moves forward, and things change drastically. So I don't want you to fall for these polls so fast yet. This is, I don't want to say anybody, but I will tell you this: the race between Hunter Hill and Brian Kemp right now, and Casey Cagle, it's worth watching. Clay Tippins and Michael Williams, they will get some of that undecided. So that's all going to balance out between now and May 22nd. The governor's race in Georgia, do not fall for what comes out that says this person's in first place, this person's in second, this person has a commanding lead. Although Cagle does have the money in the bank and Cagle does have the lead at this time. But please pay attention to my friends over at the insurance commissioner's race, that's the one I'd really like for you to look at. All right, I'm just telling you, you know, when he says you have a commanding lead, look at the details. All right, look at the details of the polling, how the polling was done. All right, the poll shows GOP race is more settled than the Democrat one. All right. Channel 2 survey, AJC Channel 2 survey released last week showed Stacey Abrams leading Stacey Evans 33-15. In the lieutenant governor's race, the polls show no clear frontrunner. State Senator David Schaefer led former state representative Jeff Duncan 14% to 12%, with ex-state Senator Rick Jeffries trailing with 7%. About 2/3 of the voters haven't decided. 2/3 of the voters, including 3 in 4 women. Now, why in that poll with David Schaefer? Why in that poll with David Schaefer? Now, I will tell you this. If you read the AJC's article on Cagle notched a 41% vote among Republican voters, giving him the edge over his rivals, but not enough support yet to avoid a runoff in a July runoff. Okay, he's followed by the 2 candidates, Brian Kemp and Senator Hunter Hill. Why nothing where it says, okay, some 40% of women still haven't picked a candidate. Why the focus on the women in this poll of who's picked the candidate? Why the focus on the AJC's poll in the David Schaefer race that 3 in 4 women haven't picked? This is for lieutenant governor, haven't picked their candidate. Why? Why? Because there's been a concerted effort to try to bring David Schaefer down and try to turn women voters against him? Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, I don't want to go no further into this. There's a lot of time between now and May 22nd. Early voting started today in Georgia, which you know I do not agree with, and I think you ought to vote on Election Day. But David Schaefer, I think, he's got a lead right now, according to this, by Jeff Duncan. That's going to be an interesting race, Lieutenant Governor and Secretary of State. Okay. I want to go over one more thing. The caravan has made it, right? The caravan has made it to San Diego. What did what's his name, Ron Burgundy, say? Stay classy, San Diego. San Diego, right? They have made it there, the caravan that is trying to get over the wall, but Border Patrol is meeting them at the border. Do we have the video of Border Patrol meeting the caravan?
Sorry, folks, park's closed. The moose out front should have told you.
Sorry, folks, park's closed. Moose out front should have told you. Donald Trump said, stop them at the border. Do not accept them in. And no, there's no more room here. Stop them at the border. Turn them back. What has been found at the border that these people in the caravan were trying to smuggle through, get through? Oh, it's just amazing. I'm for sure the left is going to investigate this because they don't want some of this stuff coming into our country. 15 states floating taxing opiates. Really? I'm your host, BKP. We'll be back right after these messages.